Well now, you thought the boy was dead, didn't you?
Let's see if we can get you on your
Well, partner, it took a while to tune the old banjo and put the drummer in time, but the Ballad of Grundle is a song what whistles on the wind eternally for all those with ears to hear it. This time, the barrier to continuance happened to be the 150 mods that Viva New Vegas requires to run, which had to be reconstituted like a house of cards after the B-Man's laptop came down with solid-state Alzheimer's. Worse, the original Grundle save file did not survive neither, but thankfully, the life of Grundle exists as a gestalt mental attunement within the B-Man's consciousness, like Tyler Durden from that movie for virgins. After toil and trouble and about an hour trying to remember how to do this fucking accent, I present to you, rebuilt and unshowered, the Ballad of Grundle. When last we stepped off the short bus for our day at Grundle Academy, this space cowboy had gotten in good with the folk of Novak by doing away with their ghoul problem. A tip from their friendly lookout put him on the beeline for Boulder City, where it seems one of old Backstabbin' Benny's crew has been hung out to dry like soiled pantaloons. Now, Boulder City's been occupied by the NCR, which means most of it lies in complete ruin. What still stands is a moving monument to the brave folk what died keeping its freedom. Grundle finds himself strangely moved by the idea that one might sacrifice that most precious thing, life itself, for naught but the virtue of duty. That boy is dead, god damn it, Grundle. The situation in Boulder City is rocky, no pun intended, with a little outfit known as the Great Khans having taken some NCR soldiers hostage for the use of bargaining chips. Well, say no more, Mr. Monsignor Lieutenant Jr. You've got yourself the Mojave's premier negotiator and procurer of human cargo at your service. Why, just let him get into the saloon and hydrate for the job. There, 26 straight sarsaparillas back to back in a row should do it. Yep, and now the bartender won't even look him in the eye. Grundle strolls right through the no man's land betwixt the Khans and the NCR, emanating confidence and a stench which would register on a Geiger counter.
What the hell?
And there he is, that familiar mohawk casting a prominent shadow over Grundle's razor-sharp mind. Jessup, you low-down, dirt-nasty, ragged old couch-staining little piss-hoovering, heartless, god-forsaken, Moldovan, hog-fucking, goddamn ass-fisting IQ lower than a kickstream. Hold on. Let's see if Grundle can finish this peacefully.
What's to negotiate? The NCR backs off, we walk out of here, nobody gets hurt.
Nope, son of a dumpster dog-licking caucasoid fucking biological mistake. The negotiator, job well done, makes his way back through the NCR territory, wiser now to whence his adventure must lead. There's only one way this highway can take us, and it's where the sun don't set and the folk don't sleep. Where money changes hands as quickly as Grundle does when his wrist gets tired of the twisting motion. Where a man can make his fortune or lose it all, betting on the wrong bullet. But hold your horses now. The road to New Vegas has a few more twists in store for Grundle.
Civilizing Prim will show what we can do for everyone else in these territories. Welcome to the 188 sloppin'.
First, he makes the acquaintance of a sweet cactus flower by the name of Veronica, whose infinite beauty is only enhanced by the blobby matte graphics of this windswept hell world.
I'll be honest, You're the first person I've run across out here that looks like he can really handle himself.
Well, that's
There are
too bad.
places I've never
She's a moron. Veronica makes a near-perfect companion, making up for Grundle's main weakness, his entire body, with a big metal fist. More importantly, she never has anything to say about our lonesome wanderer's dirty deeds. But I did say near-perfect, because the woman's a down dirty liar, and she failed to mention at first that she's a member of an underground cult of technophiles known as the Brotherhood of Steel, the sequel to Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants. No, I'm just pulling your leg. I'm just yanking on your chain there, brother. I'm just taking hold of you and really yanking you off. Veronica can stick around for now, but Grundle makes a mental note to visit these freaks, just in case they've got any tech to share. By Allah, it's closer than ever. It's been too long since urban luxuries kissed Grundle's baby-smooth skin, and with the coarse chafing of vengeance between his thighs, it's high time for some recompense. On the outskirts of the city walls, a small structure catches the hammer's eyes. Inside is a medical doctor by name of Uzunagi, offering implants to those with the credit.
I have several basic implants available that can enhance your physical abilities.
Wow, this is perfect. If Grundle can increase his strength, maybe he'll be less reliant on these wandering filing cabinets he calls friends. Wait a second. He's imagining getting tits, isn't he? Regardless, the doctor also dumps upon Grundle a mess of lore regarding some dwellers of the New Vegas outskirts known as Followers of the Apocalypse. Now these seem to be some intellectual equals, what Grundle may find good company amongst. Now, what can he perhaps do for these 500 gold darn caps? Are you smoking crack, you hog-hustling Philistine? Grundle, let's get out of here and find a way for you to pay for your tits. Now, if there's one thing what New Vegas has in spades, it's good old-fashioned bottle caps. One step into the Crimson Caravan, for instance, and Grundle's weeks-old investment comes to pay. Ringo, you old dog, if you ask me to play Caravan again, I'll kill you. But the real pay comes from good old-fashioned government work. Camp McCarron is the buzzing centerpiece of the four-legged fuckfest the NCR is running in this desert. No doubt it's buttoned up tighter than Amish underpants, but I suppose having a look won't hurt. What's that? You want Grundle to torture a prisoner? And I'm sorry, is that a dialogue option where Grundle protests to this practice? Sister, you gotta be jacking me like a steer if you don't think he's busting out of his fly to do some war criming. Sure enough, it don't take long for the interrogation to turn sour. But it does take long for it to end in death because Grundle's hands are so non-threatening they're classified as toddler safe in most counties. Surprisingly, they refuse to pay Grundle for his service to the cause. But that's just dandy as can be, since just downstairs there's a fellow man of science offering work befitting of an intellect such as his. Vault 22, you say? Brother, point Grundle toward a hole and watch him wiggle inside. Just after this kind, trustworthy doctor finishes speaking, his mouthy assistant says that Grundle isn't the first person who's been sent to their disappearance in this here earthly orifice. Turns out there could be a bonus in this if Grundle can be trusted to leave the other person in that vault alive. Place your bets. Well, there's a spot more greenery at Vault 22 than the rest of the Mojave boasts, and thank the good Catholic God for that, because Grundle hasn't had an ounce of fiber in his entire life. The man shits like a bird. Now this here structure is a bit of a fixer-upper far as vaults go. Elevators out of service, there's goddamn flowers everywhere, and someone's been using the computers for non-pornography purposes. Yeah, something don't sit right. Jesus, Grundle, shoot it in the ass. Yeah, just like that, you little freak. It would seem that the researchers of this fine vault happened upon a little old man-eating particulate what can create not only plants, but zombies. Irregardless, our intrepid hero is many things, but a green thumb he is not, and so any and all fauna and flora can expect a Thanksgiving-sized plate full of plasma right up the mouth hole. Speaking of futuristic weaponry in the wrong hands, it's about now that Grundle is able to level his energy weapon skill all the way to 1 double goose eggs. Now, doesn't that just send chills down your crack? With his newfound expertise and the trusty fisting done by our Miss Veronica, our space cowboy fights his way to the data which the NCR has been a-seeking. Then, undaunted, he ventures into the bowels of the earth, there to find his second source of payment.
Took your sweet time. I suppose the NCR sent you?
Good Lord, woman, what happened to your face? No, I'm just yanking you both-handed style. Miss Nevada 2089 over here has a plan to rid this hole in the wall of all its illegal subletters. Simple thing for a Grundle hammer, who is this generation's Alvin Einstein. All he has to do is find a way to light some flammable gas at the end of a hallway and make it to safety before the flames reach his face. Third time's the charm. That would be what's called a close shave, were Grundle man enough to produce a beard.
That's strange. The system says that the files were accessed recently and copied to an external source. You wouldn't happen to know anything about that, would you?
Any plant-based PTSD Grundle will suffer in the future is eased greatly when the weight of those government caps hits his pocket. Yes, sir, Mr. Uncle Sam, you do whatever you like with that data to whatever marginalized populace you wish. That's what I say. But we're still just under the wire when it comes to affording those top-of-the-line augmentations from Dr. Udon Ramen, and so Grundle cautiously tips his toes into Freeside. Now here's a town so vile, so immoral and base, so unchristian and soul-spoiling that Grundle don't feel so out of place anymore. Yes, in fact, he feels somewhat like a jigsaw piece, sliding all lubed up into his proper place in the grand schema. Not to mention, there's a top-of-the-line energy weapons dealer right here on this corner. Inside, Grundle is treated to a short show of force, which, Jesus, Grundle, you hard right now? Anyways, the Van Graffs, what run this place, are impressed at the cut of his jib and trust old Grundle to guard their little establishment. It goes off without a hitch, unless you count one man who was eviscerated and dumped in an alley. Now that's what I call a nest egg. Dr. Umami, if you wouldn't mind, since you're fresh out of breast meat, we may as well increase our boy's carrying capacity to a manageable level. Now don't that feel good, Grundle? To be able to stand up straight under the weight of an average American toddler? Now who would have thought that things would start looking up when Mr. Hammer came strolling into New Vegas? With these brand new muscles, what better to do than... Oh, now Grundle, these people trusted you. I suppose, like war, Grundle never changes. Yeah, I bet you look like this right now. Next time, an encounter with the mysterious Brotherhood of Steel. Not that kind of steel, Grundle, you low-down, mangy, never-wiping, dirty-dealing, motherless, uncircumcised, no-good honky ass. This has been the B-Man, finishing up right as the edible hits.